Welcome everyone, Lance Scurv here to Scurv Podcast. The title of today's segment is, Are You Surrounded by Empty People? The world is dark. Why your light still matters. There's a truth many people don't want to face, but I'm going to say it straight with no filter. This world is full of containers. Not everyone walking around is filled with goodness, purpose, or even awareness. Some are empty vessels, and what fills them determines everything about how they move through this world. Think about a simple bottle. You can pour clean water into it, or you can pour poison. You don't blame the bottle, you blame what's inside. That's how people are. Some are filled with love, truth, and light. Others are filled with negativity, hate, and destruction. The container looks the same, but the contents change everything. Now understand this clearly. Evil needs vessels. It doesn't operate alone. It looks for emptiness, for weakness, for people who don't know who they are. Those become the carriers of darkness. And once filled, they move through the world spreading that same poison into others. But here's where the truth gets powerful. No matter how dark it gets, darkness has never defeated light. Not once. You bring light into a dark space, and the darkness disappears instantly. That's not opinion. That's straight up reality. So the real question is not whether darkness exists. The question is, are you protecting your light, or are you letting it fade? Let's break this down in a way everybody can understand. Light always wins. Always. But there's a catch that most people ignore. Light must be active. It must be present. It must be maintained. If you're a single candle in a small room, you can light up everything around you. But if that same candle is placed in a massive stadium, the darkness seems overwhelming. Not because your light is weak, but because you're alone. That's the trick of this world. It isolates the light so it feels powerless. And when you feel powerless, that's when your light starts to dim. Depression creeps in. Hopelessness settles in. You begin to question your worth, your purpose, your strength. Not because you lack it, but because you're surrounded by too much darkness without enough support. This is why unity is not optional. It's necessary. One street light cannot light the entire world, but many lights together can turn night into something close to day. That's how we win, not alone, but together. But the system we live in is designed to keep us separated, divided, distracted, and drained. It feeds us illusions and tells us that success is money, status, and material things. But let me tell you something real. None of that brings true joy. Money is just a tool, that's it. You can have every tool in the world, but if you don't use them, they mean nothing. A person can have wealth and still be miserable. Why? Because money cannot create joy. It can only assist in creating situations where joy is possible. True wealth is inner peace. True wealth is happiness. True wealth is joy. And most people are chasing everything except that. That's wild. We're living in a world built on systems that don't serve the human spirit. These systems shape minds, control narratives, and push people into roles that disconnect them from their true selves. When people stop thinking, stop questioning, and stop feeling deeply, they become easier to control. That's when they turn into empty containers, ready to be filled with whatever agenda is pushed into them. And once they're filled, they move like programmed beings. They spread negativity. They defend what harms them. They attack truth without even realizing it. That's how one negative force multiplies into thousands, even millions. So when you look around and see so much confusion, so much chaos, so much blindness, understand what you're really seeing. You're seeing people who have lost connection to their inner light. But don't let that discourage you. Let it wake you up. Because your job is not to become like them. Your job is to protect your light at all costs. Life is not just about surviving physically. The real battle is spiritual and mental. You can be alive and still feel completely drained, empty, and lost. That's worse than physical death. The greatest danger is not your body failing, but your light fading. Every day, there are forces trying to blow out that light. Stress, pain, betrayal, addiction, distractions. All of these are tools used to weaken you. And many people turn to temporary escapes to deal with that pain. Substances, toxic habits, empty pleasures. The list goes on and on. But all those things do is numb the pain. They don't heal it. They dim your light even more. You cannot pour into others if your own flame is barely alive. You have to protect yourself first. You have to strengthen your mind, your spirit, your awareness. Because when your light is strong, you don't just survive, you illuminate. And when enough of us stay lit, the darkness doesn't stand a chance. We were never meant to do this alone. We are like puzzle pieces, each with flaws, each with unique shapes. But when we come together, we create something complete and something beautiful. Perfection was never the goal. Connection is. And once we understand that, everything changes. We stop chasing empty goals. We stop measuring success by things that don't matter. We begin to focus on what truly fulfills us: peace, joy, love, and purpose. That's the real wealth. Not what you own, but how you feel. Not what you have, but how you live. And when you align with that truth, no system, no darkness, no external force can truly control you. At the end of the day, you are a vessel. What you allow inside of you determines everything about your life. Please guard it carefully. Your light is not weak. It has never been weak. It only appears that way when it stands alone against overwhelming darkness. That's why we must connect. That's why we must support one another. That's why we must stay aware. Because together, we're unstoppable. Do not let this world convince you that you are powerless. Do not let the darkness trick you into dimming your own flame. You are meant to shine. You are meant to illuminate. You are meant to rise above everything designed to break you. And as long as your light is alive, the fight is never over, and victory is always possible. Thanks for coming by. Let those words sink in and understand the forces out there that are trying to dim your light. Scurv out. On to the next one. Peace.